The Mysterious Music Store. In a small, mist-covered village tucked away in the hills, there stood an old, abandoned music store. No one had entered it in years, but everyone in the village had heard stories of the shop's mysterious piano. They said it played a haunting melody on its own whenever the clock struck midnight. A young musician named Mira, new to the village, was fascinated by the tale. She had been struggling to compose her next piece and felt drawn to the legend. One foggy night, armed with only a lantern and her courage, she decided to visit the store as midnight approached. The door creaked open with surprising ease. Dust motes floated in the air, and the faint smell of aged wood and forgotten dreams lingered. In the center of the room sat the piano, its ivory keys glowing faintly in the moonlight streaming through a cracked window. As the clock began to chime, Mira stood frozen, her breath hitching. The keys moved on their own, and a melody, both sorrowful and achingly beautiful, filled the air. Mira felt an overwhelming wave of emotion, as though the music was telling her a story of loss, longing, and hope. Unable to resist, she approached the piano and placed her hands on the keys. The music stopped abruptly. For a moment, there was silence. Then, as if guided by an unseen force, Mira began to play. Her fingers moved effortlessly, weaving a tune she had never heard before yet felt was deeply familiar. When the last note faded, the room seemed to exhale. A gentle voice whispered in her ear, "Thank you." Startled, Mira turned, but there was no one there. From that night on, Mira found her inspiration. Her compositions enchanted everyone who heard them, and she became a renowned musician. Yet she never forgot the melody or the voice in the music store. Years later, when asked about her muse, she would simply smile and say, "Sometimes the most beautiful stories come from the forgotten corners of the world. Fade out,